From statistics, over 1.9 million students registered for Jamb this year. As always, you have over 70% of biological science students applying for medicine. But there is good news. Something happened that might actually favor people wishing to get admitted into medicine and surgery. Earlier this year, the quota for medical schools was increased across the nation, and that is actually good news. When I say quota, that is the number of medical students that a particular medical school can train and graduate, and this is due to the facilities they have and also the manpower, like the teaching hospitals they're affiliated with and how many students they can actually accommodate. Because medicine and surgery is not just a theoretical course. Medicine and surgery actually demands hands-on experience. As a medical student, you have to learn the practicals as well as the theory, both in your preclinical arm and in your clinical arm. Before now, if you're applying to a particular school and that school could take 100 students, it means this year they are going to be taking 200 students. It means your chances of getting in is higher. So your honor is to try and score as much as you can if you are yet to write your Jamb. And even if you have written your Jamb, is to also try and prepare very well for your post UTME screening exercise to also stand a very good chance of getting in. That's going to favor people applying to study medicine and surgery this year. Their chances will be higher by 50%. If you are just coming across my channel for the first time, my name is Jude. I'm a final year medical student living in the capital city of Nigeria. So in this video, I'll be explaining some criteria used in admitting students into medical schools, and also what you should do if you don't get admitted into medical school this year. Medicine and surgery is actually very competitive. Getting into medical school in Nigeria is actually very competitive. Some of the things I'll be explaining in this video will actually help you to be more aware and to make informed choices. First of all, what is the cutoff mark for medicine 2024? My dear, to be frank with you, there is no specific cutoff mark for medicine and surgery. It is you and your colleagues that will determine the cutoff mark. And what do I mean by that? Cutoff mark is determined by how high or low people that are applying to a particular course score. If all the people applying to medicine and surgery are scoring like 300 and above, automatically the cutoff mark for medicine and surgery that year becomes 300 and above. While if majority of the people that are applying into medicine and surgery are scoring 270 or 280 and above, the cutoff mark automatically becomes 270 and above. So the cutoff mark is determined by the Jambites. Secondly, I would like to say this in passing: there is no singular best school to study medicine and surgery, and I'm not going to be listing names of school. What I'll just tell you is that look for a school that is accredited, that is fully accredited, and also that you can afford to pay their tuition fee. At the end of the day, you want to become a doctor, right? So your aim should be to get a school that you can get into. If you've seen your Jamb score and it wasn't as expected, the score wasn't high enough, and you are very sure that that score might not give you medicine and surgery in that state or federal university you applied into, and you have the financial means, my advice to you is that you buy change of institution form and change your institution from public to private institution. Generally, private medical schools are easier to get into. To be practical, at times you might even score as high as 290. You will not be able to get admitted into public medical schools, but with that same score, I bet you can actually make it into any private medical school in Nigeria. I'm not saying this to discredit the private medical schools. To be frank, the private medical schools are doing very well, just that they have enough slots for people, because not many people would want to apply into private universities because their tuition fee is costly and not many people will be able to afford it. So if you find yourself among the privileged and you can afford their tuition fee, instead of wasting extra years at home or wasting that Jamb score, you can actually buy change of institution form and choose private medical schools instead of public medical schools. To get more information on this, check out this video where I juxtaposed between private and public medical schools and also did a thorough breakdown of medical schools in Nigeria. After all, we are not trying to become an affiliate of a particular school. Our aim here is to get into medical school, do medicine and surgery, and graduate and become a doctor, right? so that in next few years you also become a final year medical student, and you can choose to use your stethoscope as a mic holder or strictly for clinical rounds. The aim is to become a doctor. That's if you really want it. Once you see your jam score, you should actually be analytical to a very large extent. You should be able to assess your chances of getting into medicine or your desired course of choice. For some, this might be the first jam you are writing. For some, this might even be the second or even the fifth jam you are writing. This is my personal advice to every jambite seeing this video. First, if you've seen your jam score and you are very convinced that that score will not get you into medicine and surgery, what should you do? If I were to be in your shoes in 2024, this is what I will do. First of all, if I see that my jam score is not good enough, I'm going to ask a lot of questions, and if I'm very sure my chances of getting into medicine and surgery is very low with that score, I'll buy a jam change of course form and fill either biochemistry, medical biochemistry, med lab, or microbiology. Mind you, I'm not giving up on studying medicine. If I really want to do it, I'm not giving up on studying medicine. So this is number one advice. I'll buy a change of course form from Jamb, especially for those that this is not your first time of writing Jamb. This is not your second time. You've been staying at home for like years. So if you do this, you should ask questions and make sure that the school you're applying into, they allow inter-faculty transfer. When you get into school, you do your best to get a very good CGPA. Then after 100 level, you can apply to transfer from your faculty into faculty of medicine. This is not applicable in every school, but it is actually applicable in some schools. That's where you should ask a lot of questions, and before you take this step, you should actually make sure that the school you're applying into allow this inter-faculty transfer. If this is your first jam and you are just fresh out of secondary school, you're even still in secondary school, you could actually just let it slide. What do I mean by that? Just hope that you get medicine and surgery. But even if you don't get medicine and surgery, whatever you are given, if it's a medicine related course, you can choose to enter school and follow the first explanation I gave, or you can choose to forget about the admission and pick up the next one I'll be explaining, which is using the route of A level. There are many A level programs that can help you get into medicine, like JUPEB, IJMB, remedial studies. You can opt for any of these options and utilize it to the best of your advantage. You have to ask a lot of questions. Don't just take a step or make a choice without understanding fully what it entails. So you have to ask questions, look for people that have used that route, and make sure you follow their step, and make sure it's something that you can do or you are willing to do. Then you can use that method. Then the third method is if you are very young, probably you are just 14 or 15 or even 16, and you are fresh out of secondary school, you can actually decide to study a medical related course and come back and do your MBBS. That's also another route. Instead of wasting 4 years or 5 years at home trying to get into medicine and surgery, you could actually do a degree, then come back for direct entry. By so doing, you've gained knowledge. It will be easier for you to navigate the university system when you come back for medicine and surgery. You're also more matured, and all things being equal, you even be more financially matured when you come back to do medicine and surgery. Now to the big question, what is the cutoff mark for medicine and surgery 2024? Like I said earlier, there is no official cutoff mark, but ideally, you are supposed to score very high if you must get medicine and surgery. You should be talking of nothing less than 280, 290, even 300, depending on the school you are applying into. Some schools are easier to get, but let me tell you this fact. For merit list, like during my time, I got admitted into medicine through merit list. I was among the first set of people that were admitted. And how does this come in play? The merit list is the first set of people that are admitted, especially federal universities. In the first list, which is the merit list, they tend to touch all the states of the federation. They pick the top scorers from each state, or maybe the two top scorers from each state. That's why you can see someone coming from a particular state and he scored 280 and he was granted admission into medicine and surgery, while someone else is coming from another state and he or she is scoring 300. Probably from that state, though he scored 300, is like the 10th highest scorer. while someone from another state applying for that same institution scored 280 and is the top scorer from his state applying for that institution. Most times, if you don't know about this, you might actually feel cheated. Don't just apply for any school. Before you apply for any school, you should actually know what is obtainable in that school. You should know your chances of getting admitted into that school and what the requirements for that school are. There are some schools that will give preference to people that have good O-level results. Even if you score 350 in Jamb, if your O-level result is not very good, maybe you don't have 5 A's in your core subject like maths, English, biology, chemistry, and physics. If you don't have A's in those subjects, they might not give preference to you. They rather give preference to someone else that score even lower than that, maybe 300 or 295, and he has A's in their 5 core subjects. While there are some schools that don't really care about your O-level results, as long as you have credit in your 5 core subjects. Once your Jamb score is good enough, they are going to give preference to you. So you should know about these things before you apply to any school. And even if you have made the mistake of applying, there is still change of institution form, there is change of course form. So you should actually make informed choices. That's what this video is all about. If you have any question or concerns, please comment them. I'll go through and reply to your comments. And this is me wishing you all the best in your quest to getting into medical school. See you at the top. If you have any concerns or you are not clear about anything I said, I will attach my email to the description of this video. You can email me on and I will reply you, okay? So thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like this video. If you have not subscribed, subscribe and hit the notification button so that you get notified each time I post content here. Do have a lovely day.